Hey everyone, Ham here. How's everyone doing today? It's actually beautiful and sunny out. I should really get my butt up and go to yoga. So hopefully this video won't take too long. So today I want to do a video about learning how to not react. Meaning, when things are bothering us, when things are agitating us, and we want to just have like a knee-jerk reaction, or we just want to lash out, or we just want to say something that we're going to regret later. Why it's so important to learn how to not react in those moments. Now, I'm making this video more for myself because I have a very difficult time controlling myself in that way. Just, it's who I am, from dealing with PTSD and things like that, or I should say PTS. I was never formally diagnosed, so I never want to, make it seem like I'm just making that up, which I'm not. But I've had professionals tell me that, so we'll just call it that. What was I gonna say? And then just being in like different situations in my life where I felt like I wasn't being heard. And feeling the need to lash out my ideas because, if I don't rush and talk about something, I'm never going to get heard, right? So what's going through our heads in that moment, right? When we just feel like we want to just react right away to something, or we feel like we have to cut somebody's sentence off or something like that. For me, I feel like a lot of the times I feel like I'm going to lose my train of thought, right? That's when I feel like I'm going to have to cut somebody off and react right away. Two, I feel personally attacked. Like I take things personally when I should not be taking things personally. And you want to almost shoot that person down right away. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. How are you going to judge me like that? Or why would you say something like that, right? Let's slow it down a little bit, right? So what's really going on in those moments, right? When someone's saying something that you don't like, or they're trying to say something about you, is it fact or is it just their opinion? Ask yourself that, right? And ask yourself this: if I react right now, will my point actually get across, or will I just look like a screaming meanie or a crazy person? Does what they say hold any truth? Okay. Part of it is being confident in yourself, knowing who you are. And that's something that a lot of us need to work on. A lot of us aren't exactly strong with yet. But doing things and working on skills like patience and maybe stepping back and learning to I mentioned in another video, writing lists. So if someone says something that doesn't you don't agree with, right? And we learn this as kids, if someone says something, just walk away. Easier said than done, right? But if you step back and later that day you're able to, if someone says you're I hate, since I'm a kid, when someone just goes, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. How effing irritating is that? Maybe I'm not wrong. Instead of saying that, be like, well, I hate when people use it. That shouldn't even be allowed to be. That should be illegal to say that to someone. You're wrong. You're wrong. It's you're literally poking a lion that's hungry. I hate it. It's literally the worst thing in the world to me when people do that. How about just explain to me what the real issue is, instead of just, you're wrong, you're wrong. Are you an encyclopedia? Do you know that I'm actually wrong? Usually people say that when it has to do with it's a competitive situation, or it's a difference of opinion. It's never a fact-based conversation. If someone says you're wrong and it's a fact-based conversation, today is Saturday, and they're no, you're wrong, it's Wednesday, that makes more sense to say you're wrong. But if someone's just I think peaches are sweet, you're wrong, they're sour, you're wrong, you're wrong, oh, my blood boils. So in those moments, for me, when someone does that, turn it back on them and say, okay, so then why are you right? Explain yourself then if you're so right. Right? Like turn it back on them, right? And sometimes when people want to just talk over you or like pester you or like say things that irritate you, maybe just let them talk. And no one says you actually have to listen, right? You can just be like, anyway, if what they're saying is BS. But okay, so in those moments, like when you want to just react to something we're talking about, right? One coping mechanism I learned is to hold your own hands, either in front of you, in your pocket, or behind you. Hold them. It'll remind yourself and prevent you from cutting them off, right? Even if you don't like what they have to say, even if you don't agree. Like I've been in situations where people would just talk and talk and talk, and literally 20 minutes, 30 minutes go by, and now it should be your turn to talk. It should have been your turn to talk a long time ago. And you start to talk, and within 30 seconds you're cut off, and all of a sudden you don't have the floor anymore. You don't know how many situations I've been in where that's happened to me. Traumatic, I must say. So another word of advice is maybe just don't converse with that person if you have the option to. Don't stop having conversations with that person. Make your conversations with that person very like quick and short and to the point, and then just walk away. Another thing, just walk away. If something's irritating you that badly to the point where you think you're going to punch somebody in the face or you're going to lose your job over it. Yeah, I've had money stolen from me for months and months and months at work. And then finally when I reacted to it, even though I was being calm for months and months and months and telling management, I finally blew up when I caught it firsthand. And I really reacted when I could have just, when I actually caught the person, if I dressed it in the right way, I probably would have kept my job and they would have lost theirs. And then it would have solved the problem, right? But instead I lost my job over it. But to me, it was like I was being calm for months and months and months and talking about it and bringing it up to management. So I felt justified in that moment. But realistically, I ended up screwing myself over because I let my emotions get the best of me. So I don't know, taking deep breaths, which is, I know, I'm just saying stuff we already know, but really, maybe you don't. Someone's telling you something. You didn't clean the bathroom, and why didn't you do a good job washing the dishes, and how come the kids aren't ready for school, and da-da-da-da-da. Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. Yeah, okay. I was trying. I'm sorry that that's how you feel. You know, simple like that. Turn it on them. Or you could say something like my other video, like using positive ways. Oh, well, thank you for being so patient while I was getting all of that done. And that's it, and walk away. While they're blabbing and talking and saying things that don't make sense, come up with one single sentence comeback. Spew it out, drop the mic, walk away, right? You might feel very, very good about yourself after that and very confident and like, wow, I can control myself, right? Meditating is a big thing. Like I'm trying to get my ass to yoga right now, which I'm slacking on. La 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 la. Doing different practices which take a lot of patience. I'm going to make a video about patience. A lot of patience and a lot of focus may help your blood not to boil in those moments. What else? Writing things down that are factual. Like I said, after the situation, go back. If you're still boiling over it, write down. What is true? What is a fact? I am a good mom. I did eventually get the kids out of the house. I actually got to cleaning the bathroom, even if it wasn't perfect, but it is clean. I got most of my chores done in a timely manner, even if, you know, you don't have to add, like, even if this other person doesn't agree. I am beautiful because my mom tells me. I'm a hard worker because my boss tells me, because I believe it to be true. Little things like that. Just make yourself a list of things like why your points are valid, why your ideas are valid, and even if the person you're talking to, like another thing I say, don't try to convince somebody of who you are who is like completely dedicated to never listening to you. Like, if someone is dedicated to never understanding you, like literally, like they just don't, they're never going to try to understand you. Don't give them any energy. Don't give them any, don't feed into anything that they're saying. If you're in an abusive relationship and you feel like someone's constantly telling you you're doing things wrong and it's really irritating you and you're always fighting about it, well, that's a sign, that's a red flag right there, right? Get out, 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 get out. We always say it's easier said than done. But, I wish I had the tools at times to get out of certain situations. And if I would have trusted my gut, which is another video I've had down below, trust your gut. When things don't feel right, get out immediately. Don't hesitate before things get bad. Don't hesitate at the first sign of BS. Don't let loneliness and, wanting a boyfriend or a girlfriend blind you from the fact that you're about to have a horrible 3 years of hell and abuse. Don't think you're smarter than your gut. If your gut's telling you, run, then that's what you need to do, okay? So in those moments where you feel like, you want to react, and it's funny, like we react when we shouldn't, and then we don't react when we should be reacting, right? In those moments when you feel like you're going to be overreacting, the best thing to honestly do is just pick yourself up, walk in the opposite direction, or just say, okay, I'm going to have to talk to you later, and walk away. If that person keeps following you, well, then now they're harassing you, call the freaking cops, or like lock yourself in a room, or get in your car and drive away. Okay? It might seem petty, but it might prevent something worse that could happen, okay? I know with bosses and things like that, sometimes we have to bite our tongue and just listen. But just what helps is knowing who you are. Like I said, make those lists. Like whatever someone has to say, put up your shield and just be like, I know who I am. I know who I am. Bounce. Bounce it off. Bounce it off. But the imaginary trampoline on your hand. Bounce. Bounce. Have it, put it in your head, like picture it in your head, like as they're saying, like, you suck. Ping pong it off. Bounce it. Bounce it. Bounce it away. Picture your big booty. Bounce it. Bounce it. Pop it off my butt. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day. I hope you, ooh, I got it. I'm going to be late for yoga right now, y'all. This isn't good. I think I'm like hesitating because I don't want to go. I've been very, not getting out of the house this January. I got to make myself. Okay. I love you guys. You look great. Have a wonderful day.